Him in all ways, regardless of the conditions surrounding the direction. That's obedience. No matter what He tells us to do, break us to go, we do it. Okay? Like faith, obedience has three primary divisions. Now, what? This is a little trickier than faith. What do you think three of these divisions would be? The three parts of obedience. Three, the cycle. What makes us obey? What is are the steps? The ingredients of obedience.
Punishment.
Punishment.
Consequences.
Consequences.
Love.
Love. What's that? Reliance.
Submission.
Submission. Submission.
Faith.
Faith.
Rewards.
Rewards. Familiar?
Humble.
Humble. Humility. Okay. Oh, here's the thing. Like I said, everything you said was right. I just have broken down into three primary ones. So this is what I come up with. The fundamental degree of obedience is compliance. Compliance. The focus of obedience is conformance.
All right.
And the critical degree of obedience is transformation. All right, so let's get it. Let's go ahead. Compliance. The act of acquiescing, the tendency to yield readily to another in accordance or cooperation. The strain of an elastic body expressed as a function of the force producing the strain. That's compliance. Now, try to put this in an example here. From a physical perspective, compliance is symbolic of an elastic suit. It has a prescribed form. So what do we know about an elastic suit? One of those elastic suits. What do you know about it? How does it feel?
Restraint.
It's restrained. It restrains you. What else? So it's firm.
Support.
What's that?
Support.
So it supports. What's that? Form fitting. Fits your form. Okay. Okay. So it has a form that you kind of fit into. So to speak. Everyone said it was firm, but no one said it was flexible. An elastic suit, although it is firm, is also flexible. It has a dual nature. Now, the firmness is upon the Father's decreed will. And what was that we determined yesterday? What is his decreed will? His executive will.
Be like Him.
Be like Him. He said to what? To be conformed to the image of His Son.
Yes.
That's His decree. That's the part of His will that's non-negotiable. Okay? We have to be conformed to His Son. Yes. That's the firm part of that elastic suit. That elastic suit, it fits Messiah.
Right.
It's a perfect fit for Messiah. A spiritual fit. Okay? That's the firmness. Our job is to put that suit on and to let it stay on us and put its shape on us spiritually. Okay? Now, but there's that flexible part. Because we're not forced to comply. So let's talk about the folks who get too obedient or get past faith and then fall right back down. Because they put that elastic suit for the pin, it's restricted.
Yes.
All that freedom I used to have, before I had faith, it's gone now. Now and because I'm not forced to comply to it, I can
Take it off.
I can take it off, or I can go against it. But what happens is, if we go against the form, the elastic suit of compliance will lose its true value. It's the firmness. The decreed part where we are being conformed to His Son. That's the value of the suit. If you're going to stretch down and take it out, you're throwing the value away. Okay? So, the fundamental question of obedience, the first question we ask ourselves, will you comply? Will you comply? Will you put on the elastic suit of compliance and let it restrict you? Some folks, like I said, it's simple to understand. But in every instance, it might be difficult for some of us to actually execute. If we do that, we move on to conformance. It is action in accord with the prevailing standards, attitude or practice, correspondence in form, nature or character, agreement or congruity. That's conformance. Okay, and we know we are to be conformed to the Messiah. Okay, so with that, for our very first step we take from faith, we're being conformed to His image. Now, that's what we just said. Bible says, for whom He did foreknow, He also predestined to be conformed to the Son, that He was firstborn amongst many brothers. Okay, conformance creates restrictions, Deacon Ben, regarding our general and dedicated activities. Yeah, it really does. So, I have a question for the class. What is the cause for such restriction? I have a hand up there. What is the cause for such restriction? For the mark, why is there restriction in that elastic suit? Why is it so tight to us? Protection. Protection. Is climbing the mountain easy? The ascent of the Pinnacle of Holiness, although it is a spiritual mountain, many of the same rules apply. It is a dangerous initiative. So on many mountains, what they have what? Railing. Okay? What's railing for?
Keep you in line.
To keep you in line. Why? Because if you get out of the line, you can fall off.
Yes.
Who wants to fall off the mountain? Well, I guarantee you this. Falling off the spiritual mountain is 10 times worse than falling off the physical mountain. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. Conformance, from that very first step we take, is the railing around the entire Pinnacle of Holiness that keeps us in the straight way. The straight way. Otherwise, we get off the beaten path, and we might encounter a slippery slope, or we can trip and fall off head first. Okay? Protection. It's not to take away your freedoms, liberties, and make you mad. It's to protect you.
Yes.
Now, if you don't want to climb up, then don't climb up. If you're climbing up, you need protection.
That's right.
And that's what this is for. It's for your own good.
Right.
All right. Conformance allows us to safely continue down the path to perfection. For there is a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction.
Yes.
That's why, you know what? This tight way don't look right. Look over there. There's green pastures and rolling hills and streams and lakes. Let's people over there. Hey, let's go on this side of the Pinnacle and see if we get up that way. Don't get outside the railing. Stay within the railing.
Yes.
It might not look the best way. Might not feel easy.
Right.
But you know what? No one said it was easy. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be easy.
That's right.
I'll go ahead and tell you, it's not going to be easy. Okay? The Bible says the kingdom of heaven is preached the day of John, and every man presses into it, and it suffers violence, and we take it by force. So the focal question of obedience, if you said yes, I will comply. Now, will you conform? Transformation, complete change or form, structure or substance, the conversion of an entity as to change the use or purpose, the transfer of genetic material from one cell to another, resulting in a genetic change in the recipient cell. From a spiritual perspective, we are the recipient cell. Transformation, from everything we discussed thus far, is the highest spiritual order of everything we discussed. Transformation is everything. Okay? Its work is to transfer the spiritual components of the elastic suit of compliance into our soul as we continue to conform to the Father's will. Do you see the cycle here? Mm-hmm. We put on the elastic suit of compliance, and as we are conforming to His will, that suit of compliance is transferring spiritual DNA into us.
Hallelujah.
Because our soul needs to be able to defeat the work of our flesh. So we're going to need some spiritual DNA, some spiritual genes.